everybody, how do you do? How do you do, everybody, how do you do? Oh, you come to gym for fun and we'll get you on.
Hi, my name's Simon. This is the Little Gym at Home. Today we're going to be looking at your little one's lower limbs, and we're going to be working on and doing exercises that will really help build up those muscle groups down below, essentially. I've got Chewy here, so all you need is your little one to be able to do this. Now, whether you're 4 months or whether you're all the way up to our older age group of 18 months, we'll go through those development stages. So all the way from being stationary, potentially sitting, all the way up to walking, maybe even running if they're getting to that stage now. So let's get going. Let's have a look at those stages as we go through. Okay, so I've got Chewy on the floor. If you've got your little one, just get them down, lying on their back if they're comfortable at this stage. And we're going to see if we can start off with some nice little stretches. So make sure they're comfortable, give them a little tickle, grab them in the legs to start with, and we're just going to see if we can build up that spine strength and those lower limb strengths, just taking their toes all the way up to their nose. Now, Chewy's pretty flexible, really comfortable with this one. If you find that as you're doing this, that they're resisting a little bit, that's fine. But if you feel like you're just over pushing them, don't worry. Just go as far as you feel comfortable with. So we'll just do a few more of those. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now the next exercise. We're gonna, again, hold them just in their lower legs, and we're gonna open and close. And we'll do these little straddle splits. Again, great for things like hip flexors, developing all these little muscles and muscle groups down in those lower legs, getting them really ready for crawling. Now, if your little one is a bit older, getting a bit fidgety, don't worry, you can turn them over, let them have a crawl around, shake it out, you can bounce them up and down if you need be, but otherwise just carry on, just finish off those exercises. Again, 1, 2, 3, give them a little tickle, give them a cuddle if they need it. Next exercise we're going to move on to now is cycling. So again, lower limbs, just take one after the other, pushing those knees up into their chest. See if you can get them to smile, get some nice eye contact with them as they're doing this, really building up some good muscles there. And as I say, these are those development stages that they need to go through, where they go from lying all the way up to sitting, essentially those transitional moves to crawling, and off they go. So that's what we're looking at here. Right, we're going to move on. Nice little exercise. Go under their armpits and you're going to jump them up and down. All the way up and down. All the way up and down. And see if you can concentrate on that landing. Get them to bend their knees if you can do. If they're not, if they're very fixed, just gently down. Allow them to weight bear and back up. And that weight bearing, again, is producing really nice, good bone density, good strong bone. So up and down, up and down. And again, 1, 2, 3. And back down. Okay, we're going to do some little weight bearing activities again on there. So just in their core, just allow them to stand. Again, if you've got one older, you can go maybe up to under the armpits, out to the elbows, or maybe even out to the fingertips. Now, as you saw, Chewy is a little bit young, so he just flipped backwards. Let's go back to his armpits and just hold him there. If you find they start to want to take some little steps, you can allow them to do that little walking around as well. This is fab. There you go. So, coming back, next little exercise you can do with them. If you want to bring them back down, just allow them to sit. We're going to do little core rotational exercises. So again, that little transitional one, going from sitting in to that prone position, that crawling position. And crawling is obviously fabulous for getting them building up all these different muscle groups they need to get crawling. So again, you can have them here. You can either play the little peekaboo game, so you can come around side to side, see if you can get them to look. The younger ones may just be sort of get caught in this position, and you can try and help them over. For the older ones, you might already find that they're transitioning to this. If they are, you can see if they can transition all the way back to sitting as well. And this is a great little workout for them. So those are some exercises you can get going just to get your baby stretched and warmed up. So if you want to have a go, feel free, pause, go back, have another go if you need to. Okay, over here we're going to start working on some little exercises again, really to build up those muscles. especially down in those lower limbs. Now, again, depending on your age of your little one, obviously Chewy's right at the youngest age, but if your little one is getting up to 12 to 18 months, we can progress up some of those skills for them as well. So the first one is going to move back to that jumping one. So for the youngest ones, jumping up and down, again, trying to see if you can get them to bend their knees as they come down. Nice high jumps. You can even turn them around, get that nice eye contact, see them facing you, high and back down again. Get them really used to that. Now, also for some of your older ones now, I've got a little chair here. Obviously you can use your sofa at home. You can help them see if they can come over, hold themselves up, weight bear through their legs. For your older ones, they'll be able to climb up on top of this chair. You can turn them around, face them again. 1, 2, 3, get them to jump all the way down, back and land on their feet. So let's do that one again. So they climb up, turn around, face them, give them that countdown. See if you can even start to bend their knees again. 1, 2, 3, and jump, and all the way back down to their feet. And this is going to really help both with all those lower limbs, so foot development through their ankles, all the way through their knees, up into their hips, and really help develop those muscles. So whether they're walking or they're crawling, this is a great little exercise to do. Next one you can do with your little one is start to look at getting them crawling. So various exercises you can do here. One is to start to push against their feet and see if they can resist and push away from you and start to get moving. If you're finding they're collapsing a little bit, you can bring in a cushion, something low, where they can lift themselves up. Now this helps with two things. One, really good spine strength, because they're having now to arch to do that. And also, now when I'm pushing through, you'll start to see they actually lift up. And this is a really lovely one for getting them into that right crawling position. So again, get them onto a little cushion if you need to. Hands behind their feet, just push them, see if you can get them up onto their hands and their feet. If they're really finding this difficult, don't worry. You can come back down, come in front of them, see if you can get something like one of their favorite things, maybe a ball, tap on the floor, see if you can get them to look up, and maybe don't have to really make them fight for it. You can be quite close, having them reach out and see if they can grab it. And again, this will really help with all those different muscle groups they need to get going. So once we've had a go at those ones, another little skill we can do is bring in a favorite toy. So we've got Daisy the donkey. We're going to see if we can stand against it. So little kind of cruising activity now. So we're going to stand. You would just support them essentially around their upper torso, under their armpits, or around their waist. Just get them to stand nice and confidently, really weight bearing down through those legs. This is fabulous. So we're just standing here. And again, for some of your older ones, you might find they're already cruising. They're able to move around. For other ones, they may even be trying to climb on top. If they want to climb on top, fabulous. Let them go for a little ride, no problem at all. But otherwise, just allow them to stand. Now, if they're really getting it so far, especially for your little ones, you can see if they can crawl up. They may even now want to try and pull themselves up. And again, this is a really, really good, slightly more advanced one for them to get onto their feet for your youngest little ones. So this is a great little exercise. So find anything like a little donkey, a favorite toy, little wooden block, the sofa, some cushions stacked up, anything you like to be able to do that little activity there. Now, another little one for getting them crawling. So I've got an iPad. Now, this is because, let me just move Chewy into a nice place, don't want him to smack on his face. If you haven't got a mirror, you can just bring a little portable one. You can use something like an iPad and use the camera function so they can see themselves. So I've got it just here, so Chewy now can see himself. I'm going to bring it all the way down and just allow him to look up and start to interact. And what you might find, if it's a bigger mirror, they might even try and pull themselves up against it. They get really intrigued by seeing people of their own age, and they're seeing themselves maybe even for one of the first time. So this is a really intriguing little activity for them. So get them, they might try to touch the screen, try and pull themselves up on the screen, absolutely fine. As long as you're there and you know they're safe, this is a great little activity. As I say, if you've got a bigger mirror, you can use that, and especially if it's against a wardrobe or something else, they can then try and pull themselves up against it. And if you want to, you can start to move the mirror away and see if they can start to try and crawl towards it as well. So again, lots of little activities you can do with your little one to really help them get moving. Okay, our next exercise is going to be a tunnel exercise, and when we're looking at developing those lower limbs. One of the reasons really is as we go through these development stages to get them crawling, the first thing they really have to understand is where are my limbs? Where are my parts of my body? How will I be able to get through a certain space? So we look at these things with terms such as proprioception, which is starting to understand where my feet are in relation to other body parts and also in relation to the space around them. And as I start to get moving and get crawling, I'll start to develop other parts. So things like motor planning will be improved. My sensory awareness will also be improved. So these are the reasons why we use all of these things as we go. We just basically giving them a really nice head start. So I'm going to take Chewy here. I'm going to place him at one end of this tunnel. I really want to encourage him to try and crawl through. Now, if they aren't crawling, don't worry. You can still place them again at the start of the tunnel. They're inside. It's a different kind of environment for them to feel, see as they experience something else. And you can go to the other end and really just start to try and encourage them to either look up, get crawling, go from one end to the other, turn around, come back if they're already crawling as well. So it's a really great exercise for all ages. And even the older ones who are walking, you know, tunnels are just fab. So everybody loves a tunnel. In a minute, you may even see me go through a tunnel. So we'll see how we get on. So the first one, going to put Chewy down here, just put him in. I'm not going to put his whole body in because I want to see if we can get him to encourage him to go. I'm then going to go to the other end. And down here, I'm just going to get right down to his eye level. I'm going to start banging on the floor. Hey, Chewy, see if I can get him to look up, see if I can get him to crawl. Now, you might have not realised, but Chewy's not really a real baby. So he's not actually going to move. So I'm going to bring my ball in. Again, see if I can encourage him. I can even roll it really gently down. Wow, he caught it. And that's what you want to do at this stage. As I say, if you want to sort of also add an extra level to this, you can also take your little one out. If they can sit up, you can sit them up at one end. If they can't, you can just lie them down. You could also crawl through as well. Why not? Let's have some fun. So you can go all the way through the tunnel, all the way to the other end. Hey! And that's how you do it. Ta-da! So we're going to do some activities with the ball, still working on their lower limbs. I'm really trying to build up those muscle groups. The first little activity though, we're just going to do a simple little bit of eye tracking. Everybody loves the ball, so we're just going to roll it across the plane of motion just in front of them, watching to see if their eyes are just tracking that ball. If some of your older ones are out there, not only will their eyes be tracking it, now they're starting to coordinate those hands in, so they start to reach out and grab that ball. That's your first little one. If they're already sitting up and they're happy, you can sit them away from you. You can roll the ball backwards and forwards and try and encourage them to push the ball away if they're that little bit older. Once they've had a go at those, again, for some of your younger ones, you can have them in that prone, in that tummy time position, and just rolling the ball backwards and forwards and across again. See if you can get the eye tracking. If they're getting stronger in their core and those lower limbs, you'll see that they're able to lift that body up, and again, may even try and reach out for that ball. And it only just needs to be really close to them so they can actually reach out and touch it, so they get that instant gratification coming back, that reassurance that they can actually do it. Now, once we've had a go at that, we can also do a little baby fuzzball. This is a really lovely one just to finish on with the ball activities. So just holding them under the armpits, and you can kick the ball. I've just got Rosie the donkey here, so I'm going to kick the ball so it comes back. You can use the wall or the edge of the sofa or anything. Just kicking the ball, again it's coming back, and I'm able to track it now, not only with my eyes, but I'm now kicking it with my feet. So using those muscles down in those lower limbs to be able to kick the ball back. It's really good fun. It's for the youngest ones, it's an activity they wouldn't be able to do by themselves. So all of a sudden they're getting a whole different world of feedback and learning something new that they wouldn't have been able to do. For the older ones, they can just stand there. You may notice they balance on one leg, so again lots of nice single leg strength activities and kicking the ball. And this, with the single lengths, will actually help develop all the way down through, especially to the smaller bones down in their feet and those little muscles, tendons and ligaments down in their ankles. So it's a really great little activity for all ages to be able to do. So have a go at these little ball activities. So I'm going to do a little bubble activity now. We're going to sing a little song, really try and get some motion, some action happening, and you can just join in with me. This one's going to be Sleeping Bunnies. If you don't know it, Just, you can hum along. If you do know it, really get involved, join the crazy, and we'll have a great time. So the first one, I'm just going to have Chewy, he's just going to lie down for the time being. And we can see, actually, sometimes by singing this song, it just really relaxes them, especially at the start. So, are you ready? Here we go. See those little bunnies sleeping till it's nearly noon. Shall we try and wake them with a merry tune? Oh, so still are they ill? Shh. You can leave this for 5 minutes. Just pause it now. Wake up now. Jump, little bunnies, jump, jump, jump. 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 And you can see if they can jump up. And if you've got bubbles, you can have bubbles going and they can pop the bubbles. Pop! If not, you can try and see if you can count the bubbles on the screen. Pop! All the way up. Pop, pop, pop. Now, if you're like me, and your assistants haven't filled up the bubble machine and there are not many bubbles in the sky, don't worry, that's just all part of the magic. Pop, 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 pop. Now, thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you had a great time doing this class with me. My name's Simon, and this is the Little Gym at Home.
It's time to say goodbye.